Now, Billy Corgan tried to buy TNA at one point, and he had some position there, and it was very brief. What were your thoughts on that situation? And now he's going on, so I guess he has control over the NWA title, and he's trying to build that back up.
Yeah, that was a really interesting situation. You know, TNA was practically like a vampire. Like, you'd think it was dead, and then all of a sudden it came back to life, and then it would be right there again, and it was, you know, 1 foot in the grave, and then it come back to life. You know, a situation where people step forward, much like Billy Corgan. Aerolux had stepped forward to finance the TV in exchange for a portion of ownership in the company. Billy's a very passionate, you know, fan. He wants to be involved in wrestling because he loves it. And you know, it didn't work out for him, obviously. When Anthem came in and they, you know, purchased the controlling interest and basically, I think, paid Billy off. They paid Aerolux off and paid off all the debts that TNA had incurred, you know, to where they could take it over 100%. But you know, and that might have been for the best for Billy. You know what I mean? It's going to be a major project, and I hope that TNA doesn't just survive; it goes on to thrive and continue to grow, and you know, becomes a real substantial promotion, because the wrestling business needs it desperately. But as far as his, you know, acquisition of the NWA and control of the title, I think, you know, I've seen a lot of the stuff they're doing, and I think it's really good, and I think it's necessary. I just wish that they could reach a broader, more general audience with it, because the project itself is terrific, and they're taking the right steps to make that title seem like it's a noteworthy and significant title again. It's just going to take it's going to take time.
Our videos are getting more views than their title match videos, so.
Yeah, and that, you know, and this is nothing against Nick Aldis, but, and this is something I've never understood with the NWA, back before Billy had it. You know, they would put the NWA title on, you know, and don't get me wrong, again, not disparaging anybody, put it on Tim Storm, they put it on Adam Pearce. If I'm the general fan, I don't know who those guys are. If I see NWA champion on a poster and I see so-and-so, I'm not compelled to buy a ticket. If I see NWA world heavyweight champion Billy Gunn, I know who Billy Gunn is. You know, and I'm more compelled to buy a ticket because that name has a brand awareness to it. The NWA, unfortunately, in and of itself, it's going to take a while to build up that brand awareness of it again, and back to where it may, you know, now be in and of itself a draw, a thing that compels somebody to want to potentially buy a ticket when they go, oh, he's NWA World Champion, oh, I want to go see that. Because there's, since WCW stopped using or affiliating with NWA, I forget what year that was, back in 91 or 92. Was it 91 or 92? I thought it might have been in the late 80s.
Because they still kept a version of it in Japan, I think.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, they had it kept in Japan. I'm talking about the general audience.
Yeah.
And having access to and being shown, hey, this is the NWA, this title means something.
It was around the time Turner took over.
Yeah. And they dubbed Crockett. There was a stink about a title change, and the association, the promoters didn't want that done, and Crockett was like, well, screw it, then we'll just use WCW belt. And that's what they did. And then, so now how many generations, 3, 4 generations of an audience that have not been taught or made aware of how significant the NWA title is? It's just going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take, you know, more exposure of that title to build it back up again.